Welcome back to part 2 of the Earnhardt Chevy Lumina build. Just want to give an update on what I've completed so far. If you remember last time you saw this, it was unpainted and nothing was glued together. So this is what I've done on the engine. So of course we got the oil pan painted and glued on there. Then we did the cylinder head covers, you can see on both sides, and the rocker covers on top of that. And then the intake, and then the carburetor's in there, you can see it just beneath the air filter there. The air cover goes on top. A couple of things about this was once I put the intake on, you can kind of see with this rocker panel on engine's right or left, it doesn't really go down all the way because the intake right here kind of sticks out just a little bit and gets in the way, which is frustrating, but that's just the way it is. So it's only a small problem. You probably can see it better on the back here. Yeah, you can definitely see that little gap right here, and those are things we're trying to prevent. I don't think this is really preventable. Sometimes that's just the way models go together, but the steel color came out well. I'm probably going to add a wash paint to bring back some of the detail to some of the steel. And you can see here there's some touch up I have to do right above the oil pan, but see, that's better to have that little gap there. I know I've got a little bit down here because we got bare plastic to bare plastic. I can always be careful and go back and touch that up later, and then but you can't do the reverse. So I left those basically unpainted because there's some fans that have to get glued on, and eventually I want to see what type of contact I'm making before I paint those to make sure I get good contact. So the engine is mostly assembled. The next step that I have to do is finish painting the distributor, which I got to put some black on there for the distributor, the main cap there, and then the bands that hold the hoses together, the lines. And then the next thing I've been working on while I've been letting glue dry or paint dry is I've actually assembled some pieces of the frame and the chassis, and so the actual floorboards are actually still getting clean, but this is just to save me time. So soon, once these dry out and the floorboards dry out, I can start putting these together before I spray paint them. We're going to prime them first. Of course, here you got the upper control arms for that front, the front suspension kit, firewall, then you got, I think, the petty bar right there. I also have the next couple pieces for the engine that I'm going to paint, and so I've got the headers, which I've glued together. Interesting that the heads, a lot of times the headers are one piece, but these are two pieces. I glued those together. Those are going to get painted aluminum. Got some belts to paint. The fan, which is pretty simple, that's this black. Then an alternator, which is chrome, but that just goes on. So a couple more pieces to put on, and we'll get those painted today. Then the engine should be totally assembled.